Nice drive.
Unable to finish, though.
There's been a couple of those early on for EA, just in and out shots.
There's a little Euro step.
Wow.
Skip to Mylou for Pocknet. He gets it to go. Saved by Team Felton.
Little handle for the big guy.
They're really taking it to him. Dukes. Now Pocknet. Working around in the corner. Booth.
Both these seems very patient, Jimmy.
Skip in the corner. 3 in the air. 3 through the bottom of the net for Dunn. Hits into the corner. Largest lead of the ball game for Team Felton, 10-4. Here comes EA Prep to answer. Down the lane, hanging, almost scoring. Going to the line is Bryce Scott. By the way, Bo, I like the traditionalist look of the EA Prep uniforms. It's very just, it's
basic.
It's basic, but it has a throwbacky feel to it. It feels like a
You talking about the lettering?
Yes.
It's a simpler time.
Yes, a simpler time.
Before the cell phones
Exactly,
and the internet.
Exactly.
Jimmy, you sound like you're 60 here.
Yeah. I mean, I showed you how to airdrop something in 2 seconds.
I was horrified by your mastery of technology there.
Bryce Scott again. It reminds me of, like, I don't know, maybe the older, like, UCLA or you know, Lakers jersey. Just very, very just simple.
Nothing simple about that, Steve.
Nope, not at all. But another cherry pick opportunity. Layup misfired there by Williams. The jump ball tie up will put the arrow to EA Prep. If you compare these uniforms to the uniforms we saw from the Toronto team yesterday, it's a total 180.
Well.
I did.
You're all over the place.
You can be a traditionalist and like modern looks as well. I'd like to say. Magnus to the rim, lays it up, lays it in. That's a nice take. They'll skip it ahead, up the floor. Williams to the rim, little Euro action.
Nice
good.
hang and hit there. So 12-7 early on. Team Felton maintaining that 5-point edge.
Credit that to Pocknet, by the way, and that layup is good there for Magnus. Marcus Magnus putting on a show down the lane the last couple possessions, and a foul out front against Will Jenkins.
Yeah, I like that effort by Booth. He saw he had an opportunity to draw a foul and just drove right into that contact. He's going out now. So Team Felton coming at you in waves at this point.
Kick out, corner 3, long, rebound taken by EA Prep. Skying high for it was Probst. He turns it over, though. Now Felton, a layup is on the backboard. My goodness, what a rejection that time by Scott. It does lead to a layup as Team Felton stayed with it, but he got up on a dime for that.
Great Scott on that one, man. He flew to the ceiling with feeling on that one. He really rejected that thing.
My goodness. Magnus on the other end, some contact to go to the line for 2.
Oh, man, he pinned that. I mean, he was close to the square on that one. All right, so at the line, Marcus Magnus again, and he knocks that shot down. He's been a strong early performer for EA Prep, and it's a 4-point game.
In the corner. That three-pointer is good. Knocked down by Hawkins. Turnover by Team Felton. They trail by 7. Around a screen, hanging, almost another rejection. Wow. Rebound, finished off strong by James Pierce, one of our players to watch for. Pettis controls.
He looked like he was looking at a long shot there.
Here's Marsh. Back to Pettis. Puts his head down. Leaves it in the corner. Dunn goes baseline. A little too much on that. Went wide.
He thought Pierce was coming.
He did. Wanted the contact and no one was home. Magnus, why not? Left it short. Lead stays at 5.
Quickly the other way.
Dunn stops and scores.
Okay. So identify the shooter. That's the shooter right there.
Well, we've identified them. Will EA Prep find it in this timeout? Stay with us. 8:10 to go in this first half. It's Team Felton 20, EA Prep 12. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live and AlwaysLive.com. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. 8:10 left to play in this first half. EA Prep with the basketball, trailing by 8 to Team Felton. Jimmy Cook alongside Bo Estes, live from court number 4 here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Sunday with us here on Always Live and AlwaysLife.com for the NYBL Finals. We're in the elimination rounds in this 2022 bracket play. Magnus. He's in the corner. Not in trouble. They give and go back to him. Magnus, he'll stop. He'll pop. Left it short. He shoots it with confidence, but he's missed the last 2. Loose ball controlled and taken by Team Felton. Both to push. Up the way. All the way to the rim. Layup is finished. Tough take there by Hawkins.
Hawkins is quick with the basketball. He's got an explosive step, and it's not just a first step.
Magnus. In the corner. Almost lost the handle. Now they feed it left side. Probst. They work. Corner. 3 in the air. 3 won't get the bounce for Zy Brown.
Look at how tough EA Prep is on defense, picking up full court.
But there was a move. Hesitation. Let the defender blow by him, but the 3 is off the mark. Here comes Magnus. It is impressive, though, Bo. Probst lays it up, lays it in, and they are back within 8.
Well, remember how deliberately they started off this game. Now they're pushing the tempo just a little bit. They seem to be sort of opportunistic fast break. If that doesn't work, pull it out.
Not a bad 1-2 to have.
No.
In terms of strategy. Straight up triple. Good.
Oh, I like his game.
Deep distance from Hawkins.
I really like his game.
Lead at its highest point at 11, 25-14. Loose ball right in front of us at the broadcast table and out of bounds. Back to EA Prep. Magnus. Worked right side, matched up with Graves. And he's hand checked. Oh, excuse me, they're going to call a foul away from the ball.
That was a nice screen out top by Bryce Scott. I'd like to see a bit quicker on the roll, but that was really, really good setting up Magnus, and that's the guy you want to get set up.
Shot misfired, and the rebound controlled and taken by Team Felton. Up the way, Marsh sees some daylight, puts it up there and in.
Jordan Marsh getting it done.
Fearless drive there for him. Probst, reverse is good.
There it is again. If the fast break is there, they're going to do it.
Loose ball, it's stolen, but off the foot of Gatewood. He could not maintain possession, but a missed layup leads to a run-out opportunity. Team Felton back on defense. Probst leaves it right side. 3, Brown. Short. Probst. Got it.
Nice little in-between move, right? He was caught without a pass. He'd already committed, but the one-footed semi-runner worked.
And Probst tried to pick the pocket there of the defender, and they'll call a hook on Team Felton. Send it the other way. It's an underused call across all levels.
Yeah, it was interesting in that situation because there was a lot of contact all over the place. You could have picked and choose there.
Out.
So it's a 9-point game, Jimmy. You know, as well as EA seems like it's been playing.
It feels like they've been chipping away further and further, but you glance back up at that scoreboard and it's still 9. Down the lane, fouled was Jenkins.
They were going to give him continuation on that.
So
he didn't hit the shot.
2 shots for him. Officials confirm, indeed, that's the case. Would have been free throws either way, as that's the 7th team foul on Team Felton. At this level, a bonus applied at 7, and then once you get to 10, much like in the college game, double bonus in effect. Free throws made, and the lead down to 7 with 4:45 to go. Stifling defense from Jenkins.
Nick Graves on the handle here, and he handled it well.
Timeout taken by Team Felton. We'll take one as well. 4:33 left to go in this first half. Elimination rounds of the NYBL Finals. Stay with us. We'll be back after this on Always Live and AlwaysLive.com. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. 4:33 left to go. Team Felton leading EA Prep 27-20. As we take a look at the bracket, we mentioned all kinds of grade levels going through play here at Lake Point, but this is 2022. We're currently in the quarterfinals as EA Prep and Team Felton doing battle to take on the winner of Southern Kings and East Coast Elite a little bit later today. Let's look at that graphic as we bring you back to live action with 4:30 to go in this one. Jimmy Cook alongside Bo Estes. NBA TV's Bo Estes. So please, you've chosen to spend part of your Sunday with us.
So some more defense from EA Prep, and again, you and I both, the way this game going, it feels like EA Prep should be right there. They're down by 7, and they turn it over again.
Let's see what Team Felton has to do with it. That was a look-away pass that went into the stands. Grady Sherrill had
that was almost really nice. That was almost really nice. I don't know that he had much of an option because he had sort of lost control of the ball.
See, that is the fine line between foolishness and finesse. It can look really good, but if it leads to a turnover, like what was happening there is a nice layup. Little hesitation there by Bryce Scott and gets to go.
Let the defense fly right on by and went in for the easy layup.
And they're back within 5 just like that. So they are slowly chipping away, and you're right, Bo. They have changed their tempo a little bit where they'll try to get you on the fast break, but if not, they're confident enough in their half-court sets to go get themselves something. Straight on triple. It is pure through the bottom of the net by Jordan Marsh. Lead back to 8. All the way down the rim. That one off the mark. Second chance. No. A little bit of contact. They say play on. And the board is cleared by Team Felton.
So now the lead at 8, looking to push it back to double figures. And here comes a double team out of nowhere.
Marsh gives to Sherrill. Grady hands to Marsh from the volleyball line. That one too strong. Rebound falls right to EA Prep. They'll push. It's a 2-on-2 to the rim. A lot of contact to go to the line for 2 free ones. Bryce Scott not afraid of the contact.
He's a player I like a lot. I mean, he's defensively. You saw his spectacular block earlier. He's got a little composure down on the box, and he's got some handle as well. So he's got a lot of things going for him.
Time to see a trip for him to the charity stripe. That one is pure as well. They'll have one more upcoming. Try to make this a 6-point game.
Jimmy, I try to judge everybody based on my height. So I stood up. I'm 6'2". He's a little bit taller than me, maybe in the 6'3", 6'4 range, perhaps.
He splits the pair there, and here comes Team Felton. Pettis stops, blocked, sent back there by Magnus. Now Marcus, 2:35 to go in the half. He'll hesitate. Nice dump off, and the layup is missed, though. Rebound scored for out the Team Felton. 2-on-2. Down the lane, layup up, layup in by Jordan Marsh.
Defender. And Terrius Carpenter fell to the floor on that one. What a wonderful move.
That was silky. Jenkins, he's fouled. 2:12 to go in the half. And blink of an eye, Bo, we're back to 9. Now it is penalty in effect, so last 1-and-1 op. Any foul the rest of the way by EA Prep will lead to 2 shots for, excuse me, let me back that up. Any foul the rest of the way by Team Felton will lead to 2 shots for EA Prep. Front end of the 1-on-1 is good.
Look at EA's fouls, just 1.5. You don't see that much.
It's a good clean game right there.
Well, yeah, no, that's pretty impressive that they're able to pull that off. You don't win the game based on that, but it's impressive.
Something that Team Felton fans might not be happy about.
No, I was going to say, there's a bone to pick there.
Lead down to 7, bump back to 9 on that tough shot. Falling away there on the drive by Hawkins.
They just have waves of guards they can throw at you, Team Felton does.
Magnus, 1:45 to go in the half. He skips. Jenkins trying to go down the lane. He's fouled to go to the line for 2.
I like Will Jenkins' aggressive game. He really is, he's not the biggest player out there, but he's afraid of nothing. He drives hard, he defends hard. Let's see if he has the ability to knock down these free throws as well and cut into that lead.
So to your point, the fearlessness is on display, no doubt. But on top of that, as the first free throw is made by Jenkins, how about the ability of EA Prep to continually draw fouls on I don't mean like the discrepancy you were pointing out, but just on the drive. I don't know if it's a matter of
approach.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a matter of them initiating the contact, if it's a matter of Team Felton just, being slightly late defensively. Yeah. It's worked so far, but again, it's still a 7-point deficit with 1.5 to go in the first half. Down the lane on the drive, fouled was Pocknett. And he'll head to the line for a pair. McHale will have one more. He splits the pair, and the lead sits at 7. 1:15 to go first half. Quarterfinal action of the 2022 bracket of the NYBL Finals. Magnus.
He looks like he's setting him
He'll
up, doesn't he?
stop and pop. He airballed it, though. 1 minute even to play first half. Foul called inside. Just the 3rd team foul on EA. So it'll be sideline right for Team Felton. They'll throw it deep. And having to go up high for that one was Pettis. And they'll say a travel. Shuffling the feet was Nick Graves, they say. So EA Prep will have the basketball. I want to remind you folks at home, no shot clock involved in the NYBL Finals. With the deficit for EA Prep, they probably won't be content to hold for 1, but they could in theory. Down by 7.
Well, that was the way they sort of started the first half, right?
Yep. Jenkins feeling around, sent back. Follow is true, though, that time.
There he is.
By Bryce Scott.
He's all over the place for this squad.
Lead is down to 5. Indeed he is. And now you'd expect the Team Felton would hold for 1.
At some point, let's see if they get word from their coach. He hadn't said anything yet.
Probably tried to hold up 1, but instead
They're definitely now in
Yep.
one mode.
Graves with 17 on the game clock. He'll drive up and under, and he scored. Well, that'll work. 10 seconds to go in the half. Carpenter with 8. Carpenter with 6. Carpenter to Scott with 4. Scott on the drive. He's stripped with 2. A heave at the horn. Off the back of the iron. Team Felton that close to further adding to their lead, but they'll go into the break up by 7, 36-29.
You know who would have made that shot? Christian Anderson Jr. would have
More
made
than
that
likely,
shot.
more than likely. Team Felton leads EA. Stay with us. We'll have the second half after this. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live and AlwaysLive.com. Welcome back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. Jimmy Cook coming to you live from court number 4 as we take a look at some of the first half highlights here of the NYBL Finals. Team Felton with the basketball and a 7-point lead, 36-29 over EA Prep. We roll on with half number 2. Again, into the bracket rounds of this NYBL Finals. This is the class of 2022, and they're in the quarterfinals of that elimination play. A reminder, all day long across 6th through 9th grade, there are games going on at the beautiful complex that is Lake Point Sports Center. 12 courts surrounding us. So we'll have a variety of games on here from the class of 2022, class of 2023, 2024. All over the place today. So be sure to stay with us right here for all this exciting action as we see the start of tomorrow in their very raw state start to develop in front of our eyes.
Are you saying see tomorrow today?
I am.
Okay. Very poetic of you.
Hey. Not the most original display of poetry, but would have said Tomorrowland, but somebody else took that as well, so we can't work with that either. At the foul line is Mikhail Pocknet. He drew contact there. 2 shots, misfired the first, just tying up the shoe. If you look on your screen, one of the beautiful things about Always Live, as we see him tying the shoe, those were Under Armours, but they're an Under Armour team, doesn't matter. This is the Under Armour versus Adidas team. It's a great thing about Always Live. You check the shoe affiliation at the door. It's just the very best, be it Nike, be it Under Armour, be it Adidas, be it independent. It's all the best, getting a chance to compete against one another at the highest level, and in turn, helping them develop their games at the highest level.
In golf, sometimes they have a tournament of champions, basically, and effectively that's the possibility you have at an Always Live event. You get the best of the best in one spot rather than divided up at several different spots. And that's what makes it fun for us.
The best of the best of the best, sir.
Yeah, exactly. It's what's Top Gun of basketball,
exactly.
Frankly.
That particular reference was Men in Black, but I
know.
I get the comparison.
I was just wandering back in time with you. That made you look old, Jimmy.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Happens every now and again. Feed inside of the 7-point advantage and more contact down low. Will lead to more free throws for Mikael Marsh.
Yeah, he takes some tough shots. I mean, he draws a lot of contact. And if you look, EA, now with 2 team fouls, they're creeping. Would they have 3 in the whole first half?
Yeah, they really didn't get chippy until the end there.
Yep.
And now we're seeing that carry over a bit into this
second half.
First free throw good that time by Pocket. He missed his previous 2. We'll have one more. Sub at the table. Bryce Scott will take a seat. Quay Probst will come into the ball game.
Bryce Scott's been key for EA Prep, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do with him out of there.
Split pair there.
Obviously, Pierce down low. Helps.
Wild drive for EA Prep. Maybe Magnus will take care of some of the load, but a turnover there.
That was close to being right because Pierce signaled for the ball. Magnus saw him. Pierce didn't think he was going to get it to him and looked away. But that was close.
Thunderous drive down the lane with authority that time by Booth. He hits the deck hard.
His back
in front of our cameraman
ran into the metal bleachers there at full speed. I'd fall in 2 pieces if that was me. But, yeah, he flew his back into the back of the bleachers. And you could see it and nearly, you could feel it over here.
As a timeout's taken on the floor.
He looks to be okay.
Let's take another look at that.
Watch him slide here. Boom, right into the bleachers.
He knew it right away.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, he did. He felt it, didn't he?
He did. Definitely wasn't padding. That's for sure.
No. Again, that's me 6 months in a hospital if that happened to me. But
send you a get well card.
Yeah.
Lead up to 10 out of this timeout. Bo, again, we talked about it. EA Prep, it doesn't look like they're playing that badly.
No.
But this 10-point margin, even though by the naked eye it seems very
like
reasonable,
an even game.
But the lead almost seems insurmountable the way that Team Felton's playing. So another look at that.
Yeah, that was a thunderous crash. Yep. But he's right back out there.
EA Prep works with basketball, trying to cut into this lead. Jenkins.
A bit of a weave out top.
Feeds to Magnus. Haven't seen a lot of shooting on display from downtown by EA Prep. There's a foul called on Damian Booth. The winner would move on to the semifinals of this 2022 bracket. Knifing down the lane, missing initially was Magnus. He'll take a second chance at it. Say 3 seconds.
That's a good call. That's a really good call. And it's one of those that you have to instinctively learn. You get that offensive rebound, and you have a second, and you better do something.
Team Felton will push up. Trying to add to that lead. Booth heavily pressured by Jenkins. Around a screen from Pocknet, and they'll call a hand check foul on Probst. He came on the switch. Where does a rally start for you, Bo?
Defense. I think their defense has to pick up. They have to get some turnovers. Remember, we talked in the first half about their way their offense worked. It was either fast break or as that shot goes up,
Fair
or
ball.
really deliberate half court.
Misfired by Dunn. He'd hit one earlier.
He was well covered on a recovery there, so that was good defense. It didn't lead to transition, but it was a good stop. Great block on that end.
Man, return to sender.
Yeah, what a terrific rise and shine from Logan Dukes there with the left hand, too.
Will be side out of bounds for Team Felton.
I tell you what, Damian Booth is a bit of a fiery player, too. I mean, you saw him take that contact with the bleachers.
No care whatsoever about it.
Yeah, he's sort of up in the grill of some of these other players. And, you know, some of these players are certainly bigger than him, but he doesn't care. He's a fearless guy.
Nope. Well, done inbounds. And
This
Booth
is the
holds.
matchup right here. You're looking at it right here on your screen.
Right side, triple. Hit the top of the basket support. Out of bounds to EA Prep.
So, yeah, let's watch Booth and Magnus when they go at it. These are two fiery guards.
Triple, Gatewood left it just short, but it's saved. No, walking the tightrope on the baseline was Pierce, but he stepped out of bounds. The teams exchange turnovers, and the lead sits at 10 as we approach 4 minutes into this second half. A little dribble and pull by Booth. That misfired, and on the other end, a fast break opportunity by EA Prep will lead to some free throws for Chaston Gatewood.
So that was that fast break opportunity we were talking about. That's their first option. Let's see, again, going to the line, you got to convert these. This is Chaston Gatewood at the line. Knocks down the first. So we're back into single figures. It's a 9-point game, 39-30 with just under 12 minutes to go.
Not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you're still within touching distance of Team Felton, but a couple of threes in a row here, and you're in trouble.
Got to get some stops. Booth. Bounces it over. Now Pocknet. Almost turned it over. Forcing the issue down the lane.
I like his
Hawkins.
game. Man, I really, really like his game. He just goes right at the rim, Hawkins does. Really quick, really athletic, and he's got enough handle to get it done in tight spaces as well.
Jay Sean at the line. Try to extend this potentially back to a 10-point game. He hits the first.
If you're online, you give yourself a chance.
Mm-hmm. The main drawback right now for EA Prep, and it's obvious to say with the way the score is, but there hasn't been a lot of deep threat shooting on display. There's been people that look like they can knock it down, but we've yet to see anything fall for them consistently from deep.
Yeah. You can't reel them in a hurry without being able to knock down those threes.
Probst gives to Gatewood. He's left side, three in the air, three off the mark. Here comes Team Felton. Almost a pocket pick there for Pocknet. Kicks it and a baseline drive by Booth. No. Falls right back to Dunn. No. And a travel.
That's, again, though, that's Booth giving up his body. Flying in amongst the trees. He grabs the rebound. He just falls to the floor. Now he's grabbing his right knee.
The little things we talked about as a nice outlet pass and one to Quave Prost.
So Booth has got a brace on his left knee, but he's leaning down, and it's his right knee that's in pain now. And you can see why just by the way he plays. He's coming off the court. There's just a lot of hustle in his game.
We love the little things.
That's what you got to watch for.
Probst left it short, so even when we have an opportunity for a three-point play, well, they got lucky there. Probst missed the layup, put back, no. Second chance. Last touch by Team Felton. I was going to say, even when you have an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play, unable to get three on the board, but they could potentially make this a 4 or 5-point possession.
They had a look. Here's another look.
Triple in the air. Triple off the mark. They are cold from deep.
Yeah, that's really killing them in this game because so many teams are able to shoot that now.
Off the foot of Team Felton. Back to EA Prep.
If you're not able to shoot threes, you really put yourself in a hole.
Yeah, if your
margin of error is small.
Yeah, and especially it even shrinks further if you're up against a team that even can shoot it decently. You can't
and
shoot it all.
Team Felton's not the greatest three-point shooting team I've ever seen, but they can shoot it enough.
Gatewood, mid-range, no, put back, too much on it. It was a nice board, but again, they didn't come back down.
How many missed tips have we seen from them, Jimmy? So many close opportunities. We saw a couple shots rim out in the first half.
There's a little Euro action and one by Mikhail Pocknet. This leads back to 10.
He has that Euro step down pat. He's able to drive with the basketball, a couple dribbles, and wander to the hoop, sort of crisscrossing on that Euro step. So again, now we're at 10, looking to maybe go 11 with 10 minutes to go. So if you're EA Prep, you're talking about making up a point a minute on a team that's pretty good out there.
And you're basically looking for who's going to step up for your team.
See, they don't want to look at that three.
Magnus hesitates, feeds inside, a foul. It'll send James Pierce to the charity stripe.
Yeah, James Pierce, his influence needs to be felt a little more on this game. He's a guy, obviously, that we were told to look out for, and he's got the physical frame. He's got the talent. He's done some good things out here, but now's the time in this last 10 minutes, if you're trying to reel Team Felton in, a guy like him needs to not only exert himself on offense, he needs to be a threat on defense, and he needs to knock down his free throws, frankly.
Got to have those with the lack of offensive firepower on display to this point by EA Prep. One more for Pierce. Splits the pair. So it's a 10-point game. And the winner moving on to the semifinals of the 2022 bracket in the NYBL Finals. They've worked 3 sessions to get to this point. Back in April and in March. Jump ball tie-up forced. Arrow will favor EA, so nice play for them. They'll get the basketball back.
Yeah, it was nice defense by Will Jenkins, anticipating that spin move, and when the spin came, he was just standing there with 2 hands on the basketball.
See if that's the play that turns the tide, or at least leads to some type of spark.
I like Magnus and Jenkins in the backcourt for this squad. You just need to see some three-point shooting, and there he is.
Layup by Pierce. So you ask, and you shall
yeah,
receive.
He dove to the goal good on that pick and roll.
Sherrill. Feeds there. Tough shot by Hawkins off the mark. Ooh. And somehow bounce it over to Pierce. Pierce up ahead. They have numbers. Nice little Euro and finish that time by Will Jenkins.
6-point game now, Jimmy.
A timeout taken by EA Prep. We'll take one as well. 8:43 left to go in this one. Team Felton 44, EA Prep 38. Stay with us. You're watching the NYBL Finals on Always Live. Back inside Lake Point Sports Complex, 8:40 to go in this ball game. Team Felton with the basketball on a 6-point lead. Jimmy Cook, Bo Estes, so pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Sunday with us here on Always Live and ballislife.com for the NYBL Finals. The winner of this one moving on to the quarterfinals of the 2022 bracket. Fall-away jumper off the mark that time by Marsh. Rebound scooped up by EA Prep. They're on a little bit of a run. 4-0 to be exact.
Nice
laser pass
down low.
And right into your boy James Pierce.
We said we needed to see something from him in these last 10 minutes. He's got 4 points.
Stopping, popping, misfiring that time was Pettis. Another
clearing the boards.
Opportunity for Prep. Nice feed. Last touch by Team Felton. They'll have to run the half court there, but you're right. He's all over the place.
Yeah, this is their time to make a move. And he's a big part of that. I like Magnus as well, and Jenkins too.
There he is. Jenkins, little floater. That one's wide of the mark. Tough shot, lack of body control. Now up the floor, Team Felton, they might have tried to sell a little bit of contact there and it altered the shot. It's a 3-on-3 up ahead. Gatewood lays it up there and lays it in there within 2.
So it's worth pointing out that this run has happened when Damian Booth went to the bench. He's got a bag of ice on his knee right now. He hadn't been able to come back in. That's been a game-changing element. They are able to press these other guards and make some stuff happen.
It was 44 to 34, and it's an 8-0 run. Since that happened, Pettis kicks in the corner. Cheryl almost turns it over. They get it to Graves. He hangs, he misfires, and it's tapped up, though. We try to keep the possession alive. It's scooped up by Magnus. Magnus sees the floor. Nice bounce feed inside. Layup up, layup in, and we're tied. What a shot by Gatewood, but what a find that time by Magnus.
I'm a little surprised Team Felton hadn't called a timeout right
Other end, and a foul is drawn. That'll get you a brief stoppage, and we got wholesale substitutions.
Yeah, line shift here.
The cavalry coming in.
Yeah, and Booth is a part of that. Again, I think that Team Felton may have missed an opportunity to call a timeout there. But, you know, those mistakes are made. Now you got to do something drastic because this is a run that has put EA obviously tied and with momentum.
Upside, downside. Upside, you have free throws here now for Jay Sean Hawkins to try to give the lead back to Team Felton. Downside, even though you have reinforcements ready to come in, EA Prep is feeling it now.
Oh, yeah, they're feeling it.
They're still, now to be clear, still not feeling it from the range, but they're back to what they do best.
Yeah.
Well, and we're all square.
Do what you do, right? They're not out there shooting threes and missing them too much. They're going to the basket.
First free throw good for Hawkins. We'll have some of those subs clear out.
So we'll see the influence of Booth here.
Booth back, Dunn back.
And he looks like he's moving pretty well.
Pocknet back. Looks like it's Williams back in as well. Wait and see for confirmation. Indeed it is. So he hits both, and the lead is 2, 46-44.
And Team Felton goes a little bigger here. You saw a lot of easy buckets inside for EA, so that's a response. Let's see how that works out for him as well.
Jenkins to Gatewood, matched up with Dunn. Puts his head down, it's stripped. Here comes Team Felton. They're off to the races. Dunn's ahead of the pack. Instead, it'll be a nice Euro finish that time by Mikhail Pocknet.
He's got that move, Jimmy. He really has. He uses it every time. When he got to half court, he knew what he was doing with that.
Lead is back to 4. Magnus skips. Jenkins thought about it. Now Magnus waiting for a little bit of movement. Not much coming from his teammates. He'll hand to Gatewood. Gatewood back over to Jenkins. Now Magnus down the lane. He almost had it stripped, and he does. It'll be over to Team Felton, and they'll have numbers. It's a 3-on-2. Dunn forced to reset. He'll go to the rim, and it's rejected. Out of nowhere came James Pierce. He throws a baseball pass up ahead of the pack. It's saved right to Team Felton. And now it's 3-on-1. Pierce is there, stayed with the play, and he altered the shot, sent them back all by himself. What a defensive effort.
Well, that's back and forth action right there.
Booth in a trap, and timeout called by Team Felton. We'll take a break as well. They're down to 2 timeouts left. 5:18 left to go in this one. Team Felton 44, EA Prep. Team Felton 48, EA Prep 44. Stay with us. Semifinal action of the 2022 bracket of the NYBL Finals. Back inside Lake Point Sports Complex. Left side triple that time by Dunn. And the lead is ballooned back to 7.
And they have just that, a little bit of three-point shooting, particularly from him, that allows them to expand that margin and make it tougher because EA just doesn't seem to be able to do that.
Magnus skips to Jenkins. He'll try a triple, and they just haven't been there. But there's Pierce trying to force the issue. He could not handle the rebound out of bounds of Team Felton.
And there's the influence again.
The difference maker.
As soon as Booth comes back into the game, good things start happening for Team Felton.
It's a 7-0 run since he's been back. 5-0 run technically. They hit the foul shots while he was still ready to sub in.
You felt his presence on those foul shots, though.
Absolutely. 4:30 left to go. Who's moving on to the semifinals?
Wonderful.
Dunn rises, left it wide. Rebound, though, to Team Felton. Nice head fake. Rebound, yes, on the third try. Pocknick got it. Lead up to 9. Magnus to the rim. It's sent back. Team Felton clicking on all cylinders since that full-scale substitution.
And Pierce is really fired up at his teammates because he had to close out on that three-point effort, and he did a great job of closing out. But there was no rebounding support and no defense down low. So that's sort of on EA to make that happen when he goes out and closes out.
Wild pass to Pierce leads to a turnover. Nice look-away pass, and one. Count it and put him on the line. Christian Williams, a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play and to carry this lead to close to as high as it's been.
And I
think
think
at 11 now.
When they did that line shift, Christian Williams was a part of it, and we talked about them going bigger. He's the bigger. And he did a good job clogging up the lane. He did a good job reading as the second guy on that pick-and-roll defense. Little things like that, but that was a strong move inside as well.
Left side a triple. That one won't fall as well. Cold as the Arctic is EA Prep right now from distance.
Yeah, and Williams comes away with that rebound. We're going the other way, and boy, Team Felton really put their foot on the gas.
Dunn. He hesitates. They bounce inside. Back to Dunn. Little give and go action. He'll pull from the mid-range. Short. Rebound falls to EA Prep. They'll move up the floor. Jenkins lost it out of bounds, but it was knocked by Team Felton, so it'll stay on this end.
One thing I think Bubba Dunn could work on, he's a good shooter, obviously, but you'd like to see him shoot well under pressure, and that's tough for him.
So they're back to 11, and now with 3:15 to go, they will make the full sale substitution
the line
again.
Shift again.
Back, by the way, to the team that
gave up that
had this game tied.
Yeah. So, okay, let's see how this dice roll works out for him.
I would think they would pull the trigger earlier if it gets close. We'll see. Brown, misfire down the lane, rebound controlled, taken by Team Felton. Again, no shot clock here in the NYBL finals, so interesting to see if they will try to hold and just be deliberate with it. Off the foot, it's a turnover. Here's a run out. Jenkins behind him. He's got a defender and sent back. He didn't see him. Returned to sender by Mikhail Pocknick.
Whoa.
And we've got a scuffle going on as well. As between Pocknick and Jenkins. Jenkins took exception to the rejection. No idea if there were words exchanged. They were both benches clear.
Well, he got slammed to the floor on a rebound attempt, and he didn't like it, is what I saw from here. Here comes, I assume we're going to start with the turnover, the block shot. Look for the block shot from Pocknick, and then after this, the rebound and sort of swung to the ground there. And that's, frankly, that's on Will Jenkins. Will Jenkins intervened when he didn't need to be in the mix there. And again, these are young guys, and they're hot, but he was sort of out of control there on that replay as far as I saw, because that wasn't him involved.
More than likely frustration on the rejection, and then seeing his teammate in what he thought was maybe a
Bryce Scott was down on the floor, and he was defending.
Confrontation, and he came up to defend his teammate.
But as you saw, Bryce Scott was on the floor. Jenkins wandered into it.
And Scott kind of looked like he was just like, all right, dude. Whatever. Like not to his teammate, but to the guy that had shoved him.
He was not happy. He was not happy, but he was. I don't know that it would have escalated to that.
I think they'll look one more time.
Again. Now, watch. Now, he's the one that got his shot blocked, so he's probably reasonably
Right
ticked here. There he goes. There's Jenkins right there. They're trying to move action along here a little bit.
Well, here's my takeaway. What is the... We're lining up like EA Prep's about to shoot some technical free throws.
Yeah.
What?
We'll try to get an explanation here.
So they're going to say the foul was in the act on the rebound when he was going back up with it. So that's why the 2 free throws are happening. And then, Bo, you got a little bit more as well.
They called an unsportsmanlike technical foul on number 6, Will Jenkins. That's sort of what we thought. So we'll go to the other end.
For that.
We're going to shoot free throws here, yes.
Marsh hits the technical. One more. Puts them both in. So the lead stands at 12 with 2:36 to go. And Team Felton holds possession. They get it in, taken by Smith. Make that Graves, rather. And a travel on Williams, and rightfully so. Will Jenkins subs out.
Yeah, he's
after
off
the
the court
confrontation.
now.
Brown. Heat of the moment thing can happen to anybody. The right move there to take him out.
Again, we're talking about a young kid here.
Absolutely.
He got his shot blocked pretty dramatically, and then he saw his teammate on the ground.
Absolutely.
So you get why it happened. It doesn't make it right, but you get why it happened.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Handled well, I thought,
and
overall.
he looks pretty cool over there right
absolutely.
now. He looks good.
Absolutely.
I'm happy because he's been a heck of a player out here. I like his game. He's an aggressive guy. He plays on that edge, so, you appreciate that.
All parties involved handled well, both from the officials and from the teams on both ends. As we take a brief pause here, I want to remind you this game is on AlwaysLive, but it's also on AlwaysLive. Well, what is AlwaysLive, you might be asking? It is the new grassroots tour that is sweeping the nation, with the live period not really mattering anymore because we're always live. Maybe scouts can't be here, that's fine, but we don't care about that. We're broadcasting it, we're streaming it, we're getting the content out there for these kids.
We want you to watch it.
And on top of that, it does not matter what your shoe affiliation is. If you're Under Armour, if you're Nike, if you're Adidas, if you're independent, we put the very best on the floor at all times because it's always live, always real. 1:40 to go in this one. It is a 12-point advantage by Team Felton. Also, to close out that promo, for more information, if you're not already there, go to always.live. Team Felton just 90 seconds away from moving on to the semifinals in their 2022 bracket. EA Prep, definitely positive takeaways to take from this ball game. The major drawback to the team, rightfully so, especially in the modern age, we talked about it, Bo, no three-point shot whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know that they made a three-point
No.
shot in this game.
No. On the drive, that one is misfired by Hawkins, but he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2.
So, yeah, Team Felton looks like they're pretty clearly going to advance here. And as you look at this team going forward, they have the elements of a team that can go a long way. The one thing I wonder about with them, Jimmy, is they're okay at three-point shooting. They're not great. So if you face a team that gets hot, I don't know how they're going to be able to reel that squad in. But a lot of the other elements are there. And then again, we saw one game it's possible that they can get hot at least in a game and knock a few more down in a way to stay with a better three-point shooting team.
Free throw pair split. Bryce Scott got the board. He kicked it over to Carpenter. He could not get it to fall. The rebound to Team Felton. Under a minute to go in this one. Out of bounds. Last touch by EA Prep.
EA's up on the press here. Team Felton able to break it. No need to rush anything, but boy, they are trapping everything.
Put up, no shot over the back, they'll call. Well, we have a second just for our basketball connoisseurs watching right now. Breaking news out of ESPN. Steve Kerr says Kevin Durant has been cleared to practice, and the Warriors are hopeful he'll be able to play in Game 5. So, interesting NBA Finals development there.
That's humongous.
Very huge.
You don't know what he can give you.
Anything at this point for them is better than what's happening. As Team Felton, exclamation point dunk missed. But why not a standing dunk? It's a good one, sure. Just a simple Jay Sean Hawkins two-handed slam.
He's really athletic, honestly.
The lead is 14. They're content to dribble it out. Final seconds ticking away. Buzzer sounds, that'll do it. Team Felton
moving on.
Effectively a wire-to-wire victory. They will move on to the semifinals of the 2022 bracket. Stay with us. We will have plenty more action after this. It is Championship Sunday as we take a look at the bracket. EA Prep falling. Team Felton moving on. They'll play the winner of the Southern Kings and East Coast Elite. That's again the 2022 class bracket. All kinds of classes, grades 6 through 9, competing here at Lake Point Sports Complex. Stay with us all throughout the afternoon. We'll have more action after this. You're not going to want to miss it. The NYBL Finals on Always Live and Ball is Life.